So Emily, obviously a lot has changed in the last 20 years for the media marketplace overall as well as local media.
Right.
Of all of those changes, what do you think has had the biggest impact on your business?
It's probably the introduction and growth of retransmission, because this used to be a simple single revenue stream business. We sold advertising, advertisers sold their products, and that was how the relationship worked. And then when retrans came into the picture, I don't even remember how many years ago, but a number of years ago, and then started to become a significant source of revenue and also a significant source of revenue back to the networks, that actually changed the dynamic very much so. So we're a dual revenue stream business now, which in many ways is a good thing.
Yep. So obviously at the same time, we've gone from a TV-centric world to a cross-platform device world. How has that changed your business strategy?
So we've put an enormous amount of effort into what we do digitally. And to give you an example, in the last Hurricane Dorian, we have stations in Florida, both of them saw enormous jumps in user and viewership on digital. I mean enormous, multi-double digit kinds of jumps. And what that's made us realize, and it wasn't that we just realized it, but we've been working towards this for the last 7 years or so, is to really increase our ability to reach the viewer through digital platforms, whether that's our mobile sites, our online sites, OTT, those kinds of things that we, in the past, never paid any attention to.
Right, great. So that's a nice segue into then this idea that's taken foot about selling on impressions, not selling on rating points.
Correct, right.
Talk about the opportunity you think that provides you, and how quickly do you think the market will pivot from a cost per point world to a cost per impression world?
So I think it's actually very easy to do, because we actually are an impression-based business now. We just have been translating it back to GRPs for reasons I'm not entirely sure why. It's actually easier, I think, for most people to understand that, say, 30,000 people are watching you than to say 0.5% of the population is watching you. And for whatever reason, we started out in this rating share kind of world, and I think now that we are going to impressions, I'm a big supporter of it, because it levels the playing field across all these platforms. So now I can look at digital and OTT and TV in the same way, and I can say there's 30,000 here and there's 250,000 here, and I can potentially put them together, or I can create a package for an advertiser that they can fully understand. So I think it's going to take hold very, very quickly.
And you think the advertisers and their agencies are ready to transact that?
Oh yeah, I think the agencies have been pushing for this for a long time. They've actually been doing a lot of the translation back and forth. They do it already with the networks, so there's no reason for them not to do it with us.
Okay. So what excites you the most about local broadcast in the next 5 years?
I think that if you talk to anybody about where they live and how they live in a local community. They don't live, we don't all sit around and say, hey, we live in the United States of America. Yes, we do, but we all talk about where we live, and we talk about our neighborhoods, we talk about the cities we live in, we celebrate that. So when you look at local news, particularly with the demise of local newspaper, the local television station has become that touchstone or that North Star, I think, for most viewers. And so whether they reach us by a mobile device or they reach us on TV, they're still interacting with us. So I think that's a very exciting proposition for our industry.
And it seems like having that strength is something that protects you a lot from the impact of Facebook and Google and some of the...
Absolutely, because we're still the most trusted source of news. And when you look at what's happened, look, the cable news networks, I'm not taking anything away from them, but there's been a lot of histrionics and drama and opinion, and we still try to plow right down the middle, and we try to say, this is what happened today. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to celebrate, not need to celebrate. This is what you are celebrating, and this is what is happening in your world, and how you need to keep your family healthy and safe and so forth. And that's what we do really well. And I think as long as we stay in that lane, we will have a very long and bright future.